Alright, so this is Bannerfall. Much better. It doesn't look like a ladder at all. I'm sorry. Let's just move on. Alright, so Bannerfall is relatively simple. You don't want to go past here or here. Go past there, you will flip spawns. Draw it in for the other place. Here and here. Technically speaking, here is a really, really bad area, but they are the hard lines. If you go any further than that, you will flip spawn. Put the other ones in. That's if you're looking to spawn trap, that's kind of where you want to exist. You don't really want to go further than these areas because you'll just end up flipping. Optimally, the best places to sit if you are playing Bannerfall from a long range point of view, in this area. There's a lot of cover. You get some really, really memey sight lines on this area, and you've got a bucket load of safe. Other than that, not much to say on Iron Banner. Just don't go past those spawns. Don't go on the perches, even if you're sniping. Not worth the 50-50. Don't go on top of the doors. You'll die. And control B, but don't hang around B. Get in there, get in there, get out, use it as a kill box. The uniqueness of Bannerfall with B is you haven't got a lot of cover and you haven't got a lot of ways to run out. So if you're kind of centered in this area here, there is no way that once someone jumps in that they can get out. So just use this B area as a kill box. You kind of just want to hang around here and just push, depending on where you want to go. Bannerfall is pretty, I mean, no real amazing strats to do on this. So don't go anywhere, just stay in your spawn. $20 you get sniped off the beginning. Oh, no one wanted to take the 50. Unlucky, I lost $20. Yeah, who cares? I don't care, that was a great. If you had a Recluse, shooting the Titan barrier with your thermite grenade would have been the best idea, because you burn it down. Other than that, there's no real way that you can challenge that guy. So shoulder charging is the correct decision.
You've lost the lead.
Shout out to Choposaurus.
Opponent claimed zone B.
Alright. Oh, cool. Light it up. Alright. Now I'm back here. Okay. So this is where the pre-aiming comes into effect. You know people are on B. The only information on the radar says there are people on B. Yes, there's someone here, but you don't have to worry about that. No one's on your right-hand side, so this area that way is completely dead. So pre-aim here. Pre-aim this wall here and follow it round as you go through. You'll find people immediately. And also, stop sprinting before you reach the doorway. Otherwise, you're caught in an animation as you go through. So, yeah. Good pokes. If you wanted to use your Titan barrier, facing the doorway and then just blocking the doorway with the barricade is a good idea. It stops them from pushing in, and the only way they can push if they go over. If in comp, you would do that because you'd want to stop it them pushing you. But in 6v6, it doesn't really matter that much because it's unlikely that they would want to push anyway. Oh, you haven't got. Oh, that's great. Watch out, yep. Push him, push him, push him. Alright. Oh, that would have been great. Alright. Great push on this guy. Going through. You could probably start pulling out your hand cannon hit and going for the shots as well, but using your thermite and going for the melee also works really well. And then recognizing that this guy is an enemy is just up to your reaction time, and then because you just pulled out a sniper here, which means that this guy got away, unfortunately. I would never bother. Once the guy with heavy knows where you are, I wouldn't bother engaging. It's super lucky to ever get the kill. So I just wouldn't bother doing it. I want you to, if you get into a situation like this, if you miss the first shot, I want you to stop shooting and pull out your secondary weapon. So once this shot is fired and you've missed it, pull out your hand cannon straight away. Your survivability in those fights goes way up. If you... Look at your radar, you missed a person, you ran towards him, pinged on the radar, and then turned around.
Well spotted. Now finish.
That's really good. And then you ran out to the middle of nowhere. Unlucky. So that's really good. Once you pushed him off, immediately go to try take heavy. But the information on your radar is telling you that there's guys behind you and a guy to the right. So pushing up towards this balcony here is a bad idea because you can get caught out.
Their small lead has become something more. Don't let them continue. The howls are quiet. Return to the fight. Zone C captured.
Look at the doorway. These guys just sitting in a what a play. Watch out, he's going to be coming towards you on the left-hand side. Average hand cannon shots, you're not looking for anything right now? Okay, that's just unlucky. Alright, let's redo this fight. Alright, coming through here. You see a guy on the balcony. You should be trying to put some shots in, but luckily this guy is trying to go for B as well. So you kind of get the triple stack, and putting that thermite grenade down is great. And getting this kill, that double kill is really good. But now you can't, this guy knows exactly where you are, so you can't really do anything, and that ping on the radar was actually that smoke. That one. So the guy who's actually, I believed, was to your left is on the other side of Rocket. He jumps over, and you can't chase him around. You miss a couple of shots. Yeah, if that happens, just forfeit and just be like, yep, I'm out of here, boys, and just run away. I mean, you can try continue the fight, but I mean, he's missing shots, you're missing shots. Just agree that you both suck and move on. I do that all the time. But unfortunately, Rep Premier comes in with the bread. Titan slams you. Great looking for people that are under here. And great that you're not pushing up towards him because he has a shotgun. Start turning around. You've got someone coming behind you, possibly on the bridge. And you got someone that's going to come towards... Sorry, that's someone that's going to be coming towards B. Now you've got multiple pings up. The idea would be to come in. If you wanted to play more aggressively, you've got someone coming in straight away and you've got pings coming in towards the left, you can kind of hope that this guy has the guy that's coming in over on this doorway under control. And what you can do is use your Titan barrier to completely block off this area here. So run like here and then put your barrier up. So you kind of gives you two time to take this guy on and then hope for the best. But even then, I don't think you would have, like, if you went that way, I don't actually think you would have survived, so you maybe did make a good decision. And unfortunately, this guy has heavy. Otherwise, you definitely would have had him. The third shot was 100% going to hit. Ooh, unlucky snipe shot. Alright. Are you going for the cat? Oh, that is on Destiny. You gonna do it again? That's so satisfying. Destiny. But yeah, the right idea is, if you wanted to do that, is to get the flip in.
You captured Zone A. Zone advantage is yours.
Great body shots. Unfortunate. So when you get get shot like that, immediately bail out. It's just not worth trying to keep. And so you want to sprint and slide. That's like the easiest way to get out. It's either like the immediate max velocity. That guy coming in clutch, but unfortunately B was already lost.
Zone C captured. 2 zones are yours.
Fun fact, you already got that guy before. Alright. A's gonna... You've got 1 shot. Let's make it count. This guy's gonna come from underneath. To your right. Yeah. Alright. Your weapon selection is kind of all over the shop with this one. You need to commit to whether you want to... If you have your hand cannon out and there's people on the radar, you can't switch weapons unless it's a shotgun. So you can't afford to pull out your sniper, otherwise you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Yeah, unlucky. You would have hit the shot there if you didn't jump, but having said that, jumping means that you knew where the guy was. So you're holding onto your super again. See if you pull it. I mean, that's a really good play, but I reckon you would have made a better one if you did super. You're still holding onto it unnecessarily. Guy coming in towards the left. Yes. Shoulder charge him. Every time. Every time. Shoulder charge him. Give him that little booty bump.
Zone B captured. Zone advantage
Remember, again, if you miss the first shot, switch out.
is yours.
Saves you ammo in the long run. And more often than not will allow you to get the kill. But a Jotun player. Nothing you can do. He adds wall hacks. And auto aim. Alright, you got 2. Ooh. Hopefully call that one out and hope that people get the melt. Unlucky stop. Yeah, always take one. If you miss the first shot, switch it out. Oh no! He was there and you knew he was there. You doubted yourself.
Zone
Yeah,
C
unlucky.
lost. Zone B lost. You're being hunted. Don't let your guard down.
that guy had Master of Arms procced. Nothing you could do. I wish there was a way you could tell if that guy had, if Master of Arms was procced. I wish there was some way to see. I doubt it would make any difference whether you like noticed it and got killed with it or not, but no. It's one of those things where you could wish you could see. See, and that's where you get caught out. That's why I want you to do the one and switch, because sometimes you might only have one bullet and you might not have time to do the double body shot. Unlucky with that, but that was a really good idea to push in and go back out. That's just unlucky with the gaming.
You've lost today, Guardian.
Yeah. Now again, you've done the entire game without using your super. You're holding it on for way too long. Also, fun fact, I don't think that guy died. How did he not die? Bungie. Oh, he just died. Alright. So, coming away from this... Oh, hang on. Let's find a better screen. Alright, there we go. So, coming away from this game. Weapon selection. Alright, so I want you, if you're practicing sniping, I still want you, if you take one shot, to switch out. If you miss. That just makes it better, because most of the time, if you're trying to get a follow-up shot and you've missed the first shot, you're kind of off balance already. So more often than not, you'll actually just miss the second shot as well, which is a waste of them. So I want you to get out of the idea that or get into the idea where if you miss the first shot, snap straight away, switch back to your hand cannon and just go for that. Secondly, checking the radar. If you have pings on the radar, you don't have time to switch weapons, so you got to commit to the weapon that you have right now, unless it's a completely useless weapon for what you're about to go into. Luckily, with Destiny Sandbox, unless you're using Lonesome, and only Lonesome in particular, any weapon is pretty good at any other weapon for pings on a radar. I mean, unless you're trying to snipe someone with a shotgun, but hey, probably using Chaperone will work anyway. So, yeah. Being more serious, committing to the weapon that you already have out means that you're not wasting time trying to switch, and you won't get caught out and kind of getting caught with your pants down. So the weapon selection, it's not in terms of knowing what weapon to use at the right time. You have a pretty good understanding of what weapon you kind of need to use, but you're thinking, I'm believing that the train of thought is that you're thinking that you can get the headshot with the sniper rifle and then that just ends the fight straight up. And yes, that is a good idea, but the guy's already rushing you, so you don't have time to switch away. So you kind of just got to commit to that. You're using a hand cannon at that time, you just got to double down on that. Again, the second one would be tunnel vision. And that comes in lieu with what I'm also talking about, if I can actually spell. Checking your radar. So every time you get a kill, every time a kill happens, or you go to something and there's no one there, just kind of glance towards the radar. Naturally, if you want to sweat every time you're moving, you should be checking the radar. I don't expect you to do that much. That's way too... heck, I don't even do it that much anymore. Just be... Whenever you're conscious, you'll be like, oh, check the radar. Every 5 seconds is good if you want to be super sweaty. If you want to be super sweaty, every other second, you're always checking your radar. There was a video that we followed a face cam of someone when we were playing Halo at the time. And it was, even though we had radars on because generally in MLG you don't have radar. And we tracked this guy, we used the face cam to track what we were doing because we were playing with radars. And literally every other second, you're glancing at the radar. It's unbelievable how much you check it because that source of information is huge. Because it basically, that gives you everything but wall hacks. It gives you as much information except for like exactly what that person is using. So if you ever, whenever you're going through that process of what do I need to do next, always think, oh, check the radar, see what happens. And then 3, I don't know if I can make this bigger. Use the super. It's the strongest thing in the game. And for a reason too. So use it. Even if you whiff it. Use it. Better than holding it on for the whole time. So always use your super. And the rule of thumb for me is more than 2 people. If you have it and there's 2 people in a group, pop it. I don't care. Just pop it. Other than that, there's not much to say, to be honest. You're doing a lot of things relatively well. There's just a lot of tidying up. And that comes from tunnel visioning as well. If you tidy up this committing to it, then you are very much ready, if you wanted to take it to the next step, where every decision you make becomes an informed decision, and that just comes with a lot of reading the map at the time. If you want to take that next step, we can look at towards doing that, and I can give you a lot of help, as much help as you want actually, into making that. But for what you want, because I've played enough games with you, for what you want to do right now, there's just a lot of little bits of tidying up, and if you get all that down pat, you can be very confident in what you do. There's a couple of things like aim that I can't help you with, but you seem to be doing just fine as it is. If you find weapons that you like using, by all means use them. I don't care if you come across as super sweaty. It's a game. Use what you want. I'm not going to condone anyone for using guns that they like using. So yeah, just a lot of tidying up and then using what you enjoy. Don't force yourself to use weapons that people tell you to use. If you say, the biggest example right now was the Ostringer and the spare rations. A lot of people can come and use the spare rations to be like, oh, this gun feels so weird, but they feel like they're boxed into a corner to use it because they don't feel like they don't have an option. There's always another option. And having a really average aim on a good gun versus a good aim on a quote unquote non-meta gun, I'll always go for the second one, because knowing how your gun works is so much better, and having the consistency to hit shots with it is so much better than believing or trying to conform to something that you're not comfortable using, because you just won't be able to perform well with it. So use what you enjoy. That's a big one. But yeah, just a lot of tidying up. You're making a lot of nice plays and a lot of nice decisions, which is great to see. If you wanted to, I know you're trying to play relatively aggressively, and when I'm trying to focus really much down that line. So you're doing a lot of things right. Once we get your the tunnel vision cleaned up, we can start looking at putting yourself into good one-on-one engagements. But most of the time you've got your head around, I'd say you have your head around 60 to 70% of them. It's kind of the fringe ones that you're going into with a bit of a question mark. But other than that, it's pretty great. I mean, solid all round.